I want to ask another question from the attorney. Would an amicus brief attach to all of the suits, or how does, I don't know how that works.
Well, an amicus is just a request we make to the court to allow us to file our opinions without being parties. If you're a party, then you're automatically included in their opinions. And what San Francisco will do is will gather the additional cities that and counties that have signed up based on their request and go into the court at one time and try to add them all.
Okay. Okay, Counsel, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. Just to follow up on that, joining either one of the two options of joining the lawsuits, I'll take the first one first, joining the San Francisco lawsuit, I'll just call it. What does that entail as far as the city going forward? I mean, I understand you file it, you're part of it. It could go on for years and years. Does that obligate us for any, and are you going to be up in Sacramento, basically, is what I'm saying?
Only if you send me, but the court will likely meet here in San Francisco.
Would it please the court?
No, I wouldn't take any particular role. We would simply be a party and listed on the as a party.
Thank you.
Unless you ask me to.
Mr. Wachowski.
I guess the question that I have, sometimes when an amicus is written, there's arguments that have not been raised or perspectives that have not been stated to the court that legal types want to make sure that the court has that availability. Has anything happened since election, that's relevant to this issue that we think that is not being expressed by the proponents of the suits?
Well, this is a particular tact that the four groups have taken, which is to go to not whether or not in the end you could adopt something like this in the Constitution, but that the manner which subjects people's rights to a simple up and down vote without the more rigorous conversation that would be required under a revision is what's inappropriate. I think the issue, I would have said probably before reading the most recent brief by the NAACP in that group that they hadn't fleshed out enough the issues of minorities in general and why this is important to all minorities and not just the LBGT, whatever that initials are, that group. However, now that that's in, I don't think that there's anything that I would see the necessity to add.
Okay. I think that the residents that were here, and certainly more of the residents have spoken eloquently about the desirability of having the city of Fremont speak on this important issue, and I agree with the folks that came forward about the joining the lawsuit. I don't know if I felt that there was some argument or perspective that hasn't been presented to the Supreme Court that they didn't have it, then there would be a need for Fremont to write its own amicus, and would suggest that we direct the legal staff to do that. But I think that if those things have been covered, I think that this is something that we should do for all the citizens. I was reading Brian Williams' article this weekend, and one of the paragraphs he wrote about was saying, can you imagine after the Civil Rights Act had been passed by Congress that the state decided that by majority vote they said, well, we want to go our own way, we want to continue because this is what the majority of our state wants, and sometimes we're pressed by these issues of magnitude that sometimes it's appropriate for the city to express their will, and I would urge my colleagues to direct the city to become a party to these actions.
Ms. Natarajan?
I think more important than whether we join in the lawsuit or file an amicus is the fact that we as community leaders are taking a stand on this for our community here in Fremont. As has been mentioned so eloquently by my fellow Nilesians, this is about civil rights. This is about equality for everybody, and especially in a diverse community like ours, we need to be looking out for the smallest of the groups amongst that diverse group. It's about providing a choice for everybody to make by themselves and not forcing our choices on them. So I'm completely supportive of us joining in the lawsuit with the other counties and the city of Los Angeles.
Joe?
Just a question about what we've done in the past in similar topics that have come to us asking for resolution and making a stand on different issues. In my 8 years up here, I think every time something like this comes about, the council has always taken a position that that's beyond the scope of the city. I don't think we've ever issued a proclamation on a topic such as this. What is different about this one? Because this is coming from the advice of staff in the past years. What's different about this one compared to the others?
Well, I don't think that's a staff question. This came as a referral from a council member.
The difference is that I suppose it's subject to your own interpretation, but as I see it, the difference is a deprivation of rights, and it's a deprivation of rights of people that live in Fremont and that work in Fremont and that are a part of Fremont, and that makes it different. I've been one of the staunchest opponents of getting involved in things that don't affect the city, and I think there's good reason to do that. I avoid things that are state measures or federal measures and or sometimes international measures. But I see a very clear distinction here in that, as I said, it clearly is a deprivation of rights of citizens of Fremont. So.